Dude, so get this, right? Candace Parker, the super famous ex-WNBA player, she's like totally calling out the WNBA players for their All-Star Game effort, and it's all because they wore these shirts saying, pay us what you owe us, which like is a whole big deal because they're trying to get a new deal, you know? So Candace is on this podcast with Aliyah Boston, and she's like, you guys can't wear these protest shirts and then play like that in the All-Star Game. She thought the game was pretty awful, which is harsh, but she's got a point kinda. She's saying it's not like they had to go super hard, but it would have made the whole pay us thing was bigger, you know? Like, everyone always rags on the NBA All-Star Game for not being a real game, but the NBA guys still do crazy dunks and stuff. Candace is like, okay, it's hard out there. You guys got extra games this season with no extra pay. That's messed up. But still, it was a huge stage, tons of people were watching, and it was a bigger deal than ever, even without Caitlin Clark playing.
She's thinking, imagine if they had played their hearts out, like really showed up. Then the story wouldn't be about them playing lazily. It would be like, wow, look at these women hustling. They totally deserve more money. It would have made wearing those shirts even more impactful. Candace tried to watch, but she said after one boring move and a bunch of people just pulling up to shoot, she couldn't even. She's a fan, but it was just too slow. So yeah, the players opted out of their old contract, which expires soon, and things are tense, Ryan. They had a meeting and it did not go well. This is like a huge moment for them because the league is getting more popular than ever and they want a better deal. They wore the shirts to get noticed, and Candace was there in 2013, so she's seen how much the game has grown. The game itself, yeah, it was pretty much like a typical All-Star game where defense is optional. Team Collier won 151-31, and they set a scoring record. Totally different from last year when the WNBA All-Stars actually beat the USA team before the Olympics. That game had way more energy. Last year, some players who didn't make the national team were trying to prove themselves, but this year, it was just a regular All-Star fest.
But get this, Aliyah Boston had a good comeback. She's like, look, we have another game in like 3 days. It makes sense for us to just go out there and have fun and show why we deserve to get paid every night. And she's totally right. They're back at it on Tuesday, showing their skills again. So yeah, this whole pay situation is something to keep an eye on, for sure. But in the meantime, the WNBA season is rolling. They play until early September, then playoffs, and the finals are in October. It's going to be a wild ride.